Let's get started with the Aasimar. We're going to talk strictly just about their abilities. So let's get started with Celestial Resistance.
You have resistance to necrotic damage and radiant damage.
That's pretty good.
Absolutely.
And Dark Vision, that comes back. Dark Vision of 60 feet.
Can't complain. Healing Hands. As a magic action, you touch a creature and roll a number of d4s equal to your proficiency bonus. The creatures regain a number of hit points equal to the total number rolled.
This is a good way to have an extra pool of HP when you need it. You can even use this in combat if you want. It takes your whole action, of course. But it's there. You only need like 1d4 to get somebody up if they're knocked out, for example. And it scales a little bit, not tremendously. Eventually, you'll end up having like 5d4 or so. It's a little extra healing you could use.
You can always use extra healing.
Light Bearer, the light cantrip, and Charisma is your spellcasting ability for it.
Celestial Revelation. When you reach a character level 3, you can transform as a bonus action using one of the options below.
Okay, this is really cool. It used to be your whole action to do the transformation for Aasimar.
Bonus action!
Now it's your bonus action, and so you can do it pretty much in combat now without it being a huge sacrifice to your action economy.
The transformation of the Celestial Revelation lasts for 1 minute or until you end it with no action required. And once you transform, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Once on each of your turns before the transformation ends, you can deal extra damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or a spell. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus, and the extra damage's type is either necrotic or radiant.
I do like this. It scales, of course, now with proficiency bonus, which is really good. I like that extra scaling now instead of just being a static +2 or whatever. It also applies to spells, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it is not necessarily just whatever weapon you're dealing. It does that extra radiant or necrotic, which gets around resistances depending on how you play it.
So let's jump into what the transformations look like. You have heavenly wings. 2 spectral wings sprout from your back temporarily. Until the transformation ends, you have a fly speed equal to your speed.
Or
the inner radiance, searing light temporarily radiates from your eyes and mouth. For the duration, you shed bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. And at the end of each of your turns, each creature within 10 feet of you takes radiant damage equal to your proficiency bonus.
a little bit of extra damage there. Each creature, though, that means also your allies, so make sure your positioning is good there.
Indeed. Now we have Necrotic Shroud. Your eyes briefly become pools of darkness, and flightless wings sprout from your back temporarily. Creatures other than your allies within 10 feet of you must succeed on a charisma saving throw, DC 8 plus your charisma modifier and proficiency bonus, or have the frightened condition until the end of the next turn.
I do like this. It does replace, remember before with Aasimar, you could be like Protector or the Scourge, things like that. So you're not really like a subtype now of Aasimar, and now you can kind of choose what you want to do every single time you invoke the transformation. So
you can kind of mix and match too a little bit if you want to.
That's true, depending on what kind of situation you're in, what combat you're in. So
yeah,
I like this. There's a lot here.